All right, the recording started. So yeah, welcome to the Datawrapper workshop. Datawrapper is a non-coding interactive data visualization tool, and we'll be going through it. Just a couple of reminders. One is applications are due tonight. So if you haven't applied yet, please submit the application by tonight at 11:59 p.m. Just fill out we're just looking to see how you think, experience is necessary. So just do your best and we'll let you know soon in like a week or so or sooner. So I'm gonna go in a bit into like Datawrapper first, and then we're gonna go like live code, like not code, live make charts. So Datawrapper has three main tools. One are charts, second is maps, and third is tables. So regarding charts, Datawrapper has 19 different interactive and responsive chart types. By interactive, it means that if you were to click on or hover over the chart, it will hover back. Like you'll see like a hover tool pop up. It's also responsive, meaning it'll work on both a phone and a computer with the same screen resolution. Regarding maps, again, we have three different types of maps. I'll go into them later, but that's my favorite tool of Datawrapper just because their mapping features are quite extensive and quite detailed, and you can make a lot of pretty charts with Datawrapper's maps. In addition, they have tables. One of the best part of their tables is that all their tables have a graph feature, as you see right here on the right, and they also have a search feature where you can search for a certain value in a table. So Datawrapper has a lot of different options. So just before we go into a couple of limitations I want to talk about Datawrapper. While Datawrapper does have unlimited charts, and for free, which is one of the best benefits I found, there are two main limitations. If your data file is too large, your computer may crash. This happened today morning actually while trying to find data sets. So if it's 8 KB, 10K, 8 KB, 10 KB, etc., it probably can't take it. Additionally, sometimes data needs to be formatted in specific ways. For example, if you're mapping by county, sometimes you can just hit the county name, but for a lot of instances, you have to put like the official county code. There's like a special FIPS code, FIPS. So it really depends on what you're doing, but certain times it'll tell you what the error is if there is an error. But that is one main limitation of Datawrapper, just because it needs to be formatted in certain specific ways at some points. But otherwise, it's a really powerful tool that I'd recommend. Yeah, now we're gonna go into Datawrapper. Just a couple of quick outline of what I'm gonna do today. We're gonna create an account, and then once you create an account, we're gonna go over 4 different things: charts, tables and heat maps, skill maps, and locator maps, which are the 4, which are like basically cover all of Datawrapper. So what I'm going to recommend you first do is live make the charts with me, either by splitting your screen on a different device. Here. So go to datawrapper.de. Link in the chat. That's datawrapper.e, and it says here, notice it's free and no sign up is required. It is free, but in order to publish any chart or embed it in a computer, you have to sign up. So what I'm going to recommend you do is create an account. I'm already logged in, so it doesn't show me the login button. But if you go right here, like you'll see login. So do login and then create an account, sign in with your email, and I'll give you all like 1 to 2 minutes to do that. When you're done, just like put a thumbs up using like the little reaction feature. I realize that the thumbs ups don't stay. So is there anyone else who needs more time creating an account? Just like type in the chat or talk, let me know. Oh, all right, perfect. So this is Datawrapper. This is the interface. You can see here product, charts, tables, maps, solutions, a lot of, they talk about what Datawrapper can do. They have resources right here. So if you want, this is the blog. This blog is like some examples of charts they've made. This is a place to exchange visualizations with other people on the internet. This is an academy. This academy is just like the documentation for Datawrapper. So it just tells anything you're interested in, like how do I create a locator map in case you forgot? You go to the academy, it'll tell you step by step how to create a locator map, for example. And then more stuff like facts, careers, API documentation. They do have a live coding option where you could integrate with Datawrapper with their like APIs. You can live scrape and add it to Datawrapper. So if you're interested in that, that is also available here. But otherwise, we'll get started. Just as a note, sometimes depending on your computer, you may have tech issues. If you do, just feel free to like stop me and like ask and I'll try to help. But if it's something that's specific to your computer, I may just have to do it after since I'm not familiar with your computer. But yeah, otherwise, let's start creating. We're going to start off with these basic charts. So I'm going to send you all a data set. I have three different data sets for the four things we're going to do today. So I'm going to send you the data set. This data set is a data set of the course grades for PSAT 120B in spring 23 from Dr. Ravath and Dr. Coburn. This is from the data I pulled from the registrar. I just put it into a sheet. So yeah, that's the sheet. Feel free to feel free to get on the sheet. You don't need to download it. That's one of the cool things about Datawrapper is that you don't need to download. You can just link the sheet there. So if you just joined us, we're doing a Datawrapper workshop and we're starting on charts. I know like 2 or 3 of you just joined. Just go to datawrapper.de and create an account. And once you get an account, we're going to make charts. But yeah. So yeah, if you're not on this link, I recommend you get on the link, but it's just, A plus A each grade for PSAT 120B for Dr. Robot and Dr. Coburn. So now, with this data, you can make a whole bunch of types of charts. If you see right here, these are a couple of charts that's been made. I'll show you what we can do with that data. But like, for example, I know depending on the types of data, you can make lots of different charts. So for example, right here, you see this example, this was made by Angelina for like a weed article. You can make scatter plots, heat maps, you can make bar charts, and they're all interactive right here. You can make tables too. Yeah, this one. And maps. So right now, we're going to go to Datawrapper, press start creating right here. You should get to a page that looks like this. As a note, whenever you press start creating, it's going to automatically take you to option 1, which is charts. If you ever want to create a map or a table, you just go to create new and you just press map or table. But right here, we're going to first upload our data. There are 4 options here. You can either copy, paste the data table like a text file. You could just paste it here. You could upload a CSV file or an Excel file that could upload any of this data. You could also link external data from some other website that may have CSV files on there, or you can connect a Google Sheet, which is what we're going to do for today's workshop. So just going to copy this link. I'm going to paste it right here and for your to Google Sheet. And then let it, once it reaches this green arrow, press proceed. Hello. Oh, I don't know about video, but they'll probably be over there eventually. But I'm not video, but yeah, they're not here yet. But yeah. Oh, then yeah, they'll probably be here soon. But yeah. Okay, yeah. So once you get here, you'll see something that's like check and describe. So once you're at check and describe, you'll see all the data right here: grade, course level, quarter, the 2 teachers right here. Note in Datawrapper, you want the grade, you want the like x-axis value to be on the left. It's just something that they want specifically. But you can see here, if there's any red cells, there are no red cells here, then there's a problem with the data. They have numbers in blue, text in black. So just something the Datawrapper does for you. It tells you what this is. You can also add columns here. You can also transpose columns. You can, add columns like Excel and make calculations, but whatever. Now let's go to visualize. Now, this is the favorite part of Datawrapper. It's so quick. So right here, you see a bunch of different charts right here I can choose from. Does anyone have any problems getting onto this page right now? All right, if not, then we'll just start making a chart with this. So with this, once you have here, we have grade data, right? So now I gotta choose the best type of chart. Does anyone have a recommendation on what type of chart I should use? I'd assume it would not be line, but does anyone want to like tell me which chart they want to see? Just like feel free to shout it out or type in the chat. Bar. All right, we're gonna make a bar chart. So we're gonna click bar. And right here, you see a bar chart for one of the data sets. So let's just work with this data set for right now. We're gonna go to refine. It's gonna load. So right here, you see this is a bar chart for Dr. Ravat. I can switch it with Coburn. It would just show this data. So let's say we do one for Coburn. It'll show like this. I can add a title right here. So it'll be like PSTAT 120B grades for Dr. Coburn. I'll make it like spring 23. So it's like S23 PSTAT 120B grades for Dr. Coburn. Already right here, you have a chart. But now we can add more cool things. So like you have select column grade. I could add like quarter or course level, I guess is access right here. It wouldn't make any sense here since they're all the same course level and quarter. But for right now, we'll just keep grade here. You can change the alignment. Like if I wanted this to be more right or more left, I'll keep it left. You can also move the labels to a separate line. Like you could do something like that. For now, I'll keep it like this. Now you can show values. You can show values to the right or to the left. So I'm going to keep it to the right just for aesthetic purposes here. And I can change the number format. So if my number had decimal values, then I would do like 0.0 or something like that. But there's no decimal values, so I just stick to just the basic form. So you can see here, there's a lot of options here. Horizontal axis, you can add grid lines if you want them. I'll add grid lines here because why not? You can change the bar color. So let's say I want everything to be red. Not everything is red. You can also customize colors. So I could select a column grid, right? And I can make A+. I can make A+ orange, like that. So column by column. Wait. One sec, hold on. It's using the wrong labels. Clear key. There we go. All right. So once you have this could be your chart. Like this could honestly just be your chart just for Dr. Coburn. I'll show you an example where you add like Dr. Ravat's grades as well to make a stacked bar chart afterwards. But now here you can do a lot of options if you wanted. Like you could sort bars by grades. So let's say we sort bars by top to bottom, like that. Then we proceed. I can make the title right here. I can add a description. So it's like these were awarded during spring 2023. like that. You don't need a description, it's optional. You can add data source, who published the data. So it's like UCSB registrar. And you'll see here, it pops up at the bottom. Everything here pops up at the bottom right now. So who created the card? I'll put my name right here. It'll create at the bottom, like that. You can add any of these features like links, notes, etc. You can layout. There's almost nothing here you need to know. It's just layout. You can add like, image download options. If anyone wants to download the image, they can, or embed it in their own files, they can, but that's it. But otherwise, you go to publish and embed, and you press publish. Now you'll see right here that you can have a couple of different things. You have export or duplicate visualization. So if you just wanted to take a picture of this, just download this right here. It takes a picture of this. If you want to make a copy of this to edit, you press copy. If you wanted to embed this in a website, which is how we do here, you use the iframe right here and you can embed it. So I'm going to go into more table charts with more bar, like a stacked bar chart with this. But first, I want to show you why we try to make, why we like these embed, like why we publish the data so you can embed it. So what happens right here is once I get this iframe right here, right, what I would do is I personally would just go to the Datanext website and I would upload it as that iframe, and the chart automatically go there. So I'm just going to demonstrate to you what that would look like just once. So I'm going to take that iframe, right? And I'm just going to like paste it right here. Okay. Hold on. Wait. It should be, where is it? Wait, hold on, that's why. Load. And voila, my chart automatically appears right here, like that. So you could do that with any of your own websites too. If you ever have your own website, you could always just take the HTML iframe and upload it there, and it automatically uploads to your website or whatnot. And we'll work on making this interactive eventually, but this is just a basic chart you can make with Datawrapper, and it's really aesthetic. Like you can see everything has the same font types, which I think is really, really cool. But let's say we wanted to make a more complex chart. So coming back here, we're gonna go back to Datawrapper. Right here, we're gonna create a new chart. Let's say you want something else. So same data, connect to Google Sheet. To Google Sheet, right here. Right, put the Google Sheet here. Same process again. You're gonna check, describe it. Same data, visualize. Let's say I want to combine both Dr. Ravat and Dr. Coburn's data, right? So I'm going to stack bar charts. And this is where like some of the cooler Datawrapper features are. You see right here, now we have Ravat and Coburn. And you can see, you can compare, I'll go into like percentages and stuff like that, but you can see here, you can compare, the distributions of each one. If I hover over Dr. Ravat, you see it highlights here. If I hover over Coburn, it highlights Coburn, which is a really cool interactive feature to have in your chart. But let's say I have this, right? Then I go refine this. I'm gonna, just the same thing I did last time. So it'll be like S3 grades for Dr. I'm just gonna do this 120B. Same thing you can do right here. You can change the bar colors, you can change the color key, you can add lines, you could stack percentages. So this option right here is stack percentages. Right here, you have the numbers, right? But let's say I wanted to normalize the data to make it like a segmented bar chart. You can stack percentages. And right here, you see for each one, I have the distribution of A's to, A of A's, like for A plus is A minus B, but the distribution of grades for each teacher. So you can easily compare, which teacher you want based on what type of grade you want. So let's say I go with that, and let's say I want thicker bars because I like thicker bars. And I'm gonna add separating lines right here. So you separate the lines right there. And I'm not going to sort bars. I'm just going to leave it like this. And like this right here is like, it is a chart. Like you don't need to add anything else. You can add anything else. You can add like a description. Um, you can add stuff like data source. I'm just going to add it here. Just to have it to add it. But once you have this right here. Yeah, hello. Okay. But anyway, you could also highlight elements. So let's say I want to highlight A. Let's say my article is about, the percentage of A's. I can highlight A plus, A minus. And then everything right here, it'll be automatically highlighted, so your chart will look like that. So you could do something like that as well. So it'll show the main topic we're, looking at for that article. You go to publish, and then you publish it, and then, you can do the same thing. You can download it, and this chart is interactive, right? Because you hover over it, and you're able to check over it. So when you upload it to the website, it'll be interactive like this too, which is really cool. If you wanted to go back to this chart and never edit it, just go to your archive and it'll appear here, or you can just click on the archive and it'll take you to the archive right here. You can also do other things. You can make pie charts. You can make, all sorts of different charts. If I wanted to go back to my old chart and just change it to pie, I could do it. There's 19 different charts. So not all charts work for every single data type, but if you wanted, but for a lot of different data types, I wanted a pie chart, it makes sense, right? A minus B plus, other, etc. It's really pretty, but it's a really, really pretty chart too. So I could always change the other. I just go into refine and refine. There's a way to change the other right here. So I just changed this. I just increased the number of slices, and then I have everything right there. So Datawrapper can make really, really cool pie charts as well. It's just choosing what chart to make. But I'm not spending too much time on charts just because charts are somewhat easy. You just go there, you press chart type, and it creates the chart for you, and you can explore. So does anyone have any questions on charts? Feel free to just unmute and ask or type in the chat. All right, no one has any questions on charts. I'll move on to the next tool with Datawrapper, which is tables and heat maps. So heat maps are my favorite portion of Datawrapper just because, it's really, really pretty. Like if you saw this article right here, this is really, really pretty. It really looks really cool on like an article or on the website. So I think heat maps are kind of cool. And tables are also interactive searches. So what I'm gonna do right now is I'm gonna send you this data set right here. Right, this is a data set of the EIU democracy index, and we're going to make tables and two types of heat maps with this data. So I'm going to show this right here. Be on it myself. So I recommend you get onto this data set. And once you get into this data set, you'll see a couple of different things. And I'll explain what the EIU democracy index is. But you have entity, which is like, the country. We have code, which is just 3-letter code for the country. We have year, and we have the democracy index. For this one, it's all 2022. And we have the democracy index, which is a score of how democratic a country is. So basically what the EIU democracy index is I think Wikipedia kind of says it for itself, but it's like it measures democracy. It's compiled by the Economist Intelligence Unit of the Economist Group, which publishes the newspaper The Economist. And it uses 5 different categories to pluralism, civil liberties, that measure pluralism, civil liberties, and political culture. And it classifies countries by 4 different regime types. Either they're full democracy, a flawed democracy, a hybrid regime, or an authoritarian regime. And you can see the breakdown of what makes one here. But basically, what we can do with this is we can make tables and we can make heat maps like this, like for example, like this with this data set. So with this data set right here, just copy the link like we did last time and go to Datawrapper. Now you can do start creating. Once you start creating, we're going to create a table this time. So we're going to create new, and we're going to create a table. Okay. Once you hit the create table, it's the same exact format. Connect your Google Sheets. I'm going to connect to Google Sheet right here. The data set is slightly larger, so it might take a little bit more time to load. But once I have that, I just press proceed. And now it's going to check and describe my data. See right here, again, we have entity, code, a year, and democracy index, etc. And we see we have for the 168 countries or territories that the EIU does this thing for. There are like 30 so countries the EIU does not consider, which we'll see how that impacts the data. But once you have here, assuming everyone got to this step, you can just press visualize. So right here, we have a basic Datawrapper table format. This table can be inserted into articles, and you can search the article, or they could just look at the data themselves, which is why I think tables are really, really cool. So for example, right here, if I make this searchable, now anyone who's looking at your article on the website, if they just press search, and let's say I want to search for USA, it pulls up USA like that. Already your table is interactive from the start. So I'm just going to add, a title. EIU, democracy index. What is this? 2022 and what US democracy index. All right. I don't like how it has like 9 pages and 20 rows per page. So you can increase the rows per page, decrease the pages, or I can just do like 10. And it'll be 17 pages, but it's like 10, whatever. So I'm going to do by that. I can show ranks right here. Show ranks does like it does the by the top from the row, what it like ranks of like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. If I wanted to like order this by democracy index, I can do that. I'll show you how to do that. But this, let's say I want ranks, so we're gonna rank it. You can do more things, like you can do, this doesn't really matter right here. You don't need mobile fallback or whatnot. You can do stripe table. It makes the table striped, it alternates colors like white and then gray. You could do first column sticky. We don't need to do that right here, but it would just make if your table was too wide, if you were like scrolling on the table, it would leave the first column there. But we'll just leave it like that for now. You can also sort table. So let's say I want to sort it by democracy index. Sort table and change entity to democracy index. And it's descending. So right here we have it sorted by democracy index. So note something right here. If you look at the data, right? The data is all in 2 decimal places, it's floats. But right here, it's an integer value. So you can't see the exact differences. If I wanted to change that, I just go to customize column democracy index and just change the formatting. That's why the formatting is important. So I'm going to change it to 2 decimal places. And now I can see the full, democracy index score based on that. So yeah, that's tabling. I can also, change the format. I can make it bold. Let's say I want to make it bold. I can color cells based on categories. I don't want to do that though. You show this as a heat map. That would just, it doesn't really fit for this data, but I could do that, for example, and make it like somewhat of a heat map. But I don't need to do that. What I will do here is make show as a bar chart. So you can insert charts into, what's it called? Into tables. So let's say I want to show it as a bar chart. So if I go here, right, you'll see how it shows the value, the chart itself. So it's like a bar chart intermixed with a table. You can make it a slim bar chart if you wanted to, or not, or you can color bars based on categories. If I had a category right here that was like full democracy, flawed democracy, which I could have added just by using pandas or like basic data manipulation tool, I could have, colored the bars based on whether, they were a full democracy, a flawed democracy, a hybrid regime, etc. But I didn't do that for now. But no, that's one example you can do right here. You can also customize any rows. So let's say I want to go back to the top, right? Let's say go to, where's page 1 with Norway? All right, I think I want to highlight the top 3, right? So if I want to highlight the top 3, I go to customize rows and I press Norway. So here I can just go here, fill, and I want to fill it with, light color. And just like that, Norway is highlighted. So I want to go to the next one, which is New Zealand. I'll go back to New Zealand, which is right here. And I'll highlight this in the same color again. Oh, that's not the same color. That's the same color. And then I want to go to the next one, which is okay, that's one. That's the color. And just like that, I've highlighted the first three. You could do it for, everyone else. You can also show the row on every page if you wanted to. We don't need to do that here. So that's basically a thing. If you didn't have this, like if this is part of your data and like your data was somewhat messed up, you could add the first row to the header. We're obviously not going to do that. It doesn't make any sense. But you could do that if you wanted to. But annotate, annotate the same thing, add the same thing. Like who created, who created the chart? Let's say add that. Chattoraj, whatever. And layout, done. Then I go to publish. Just like that, you publish now. And it's published. So what I can do right here is I can take this little iframe right here. Right, I'm just display this again. And if I put this into my HTML editor or the article, and publish this or preview something published. But right here, you see this is a full table embedded here. I want to click this, it'll click in my article, it'll click. And then if I want to search, let's say I want to search for India. India pops up right there and I can see it. So if I had another category right here, like if I had a category that was like flawed full democracy, you could pull up just the full democracy, flawed democracy if I did, some data manipulation, etc. So I think Datawrapper is also really cool right here just because of its interactive features that you can add, with tables. You can obviously go more in depth. Datawrapper, I'm just showing you like the basics of Datawrapper. Obviously, if you were to Google it or search more in their academy, you could find more information about it. But this is just a way to get started. But yeah, that is how you make tables. Any questions on tables? All right. Now we're going to go into heat maps and then we'll finish off mapping. So with heat maps, once again, go back here to the main Datawrapper page and we're going to create new map. Okay. So Datawrapper has three different types of maps. Choropleth, which is for regions, symbol, which is for points. You need latitude, longitude points, and locator maps, which are something which show like a specific location. That'll be the last thing I do today. But let's start with choropleth maps. So I'm going to make sure to create a choropleth map. Now I can choose any map I want. I could choose the Middle East, I can choose Latin America. So I could use my same data set and just go with the Middle East and just map it in the Middle East. But let's say for this purpose, I just want to map, the entire world. I can just do world. But like if I wanted something specific, like if I wanted like USA, like counties, they have that. They have almost everything. Like you can pull USA counties, Alaska House districts, whatnot. Okay, but let's, with USA County, let's go to world. So we have world, same process again, link the same data set to here. You just, except it looks a little bit different. You gotta add your data and you go to the, right here, you go to connect or remote data set and you connect your Google Sheet. So my Google Sheet. Keep this tab here. Okay, I connect. Just as a note, when you connect Google Sheets, make sure Google Sheets always have link sharing on, just so it works. So this is really important because this is when you have to start using values. So we're gonna look at check, and this is where I first have errors. So you notice right here, these countries are not being used right now. That's because the EIU doesn't have them, so you can just leave them. Notice how you have the values tag and the ISO code tag. If for some reason Datawrapper assigned my values to year, you'd have to manually just click on this header and change it based on ISO coder values. Luckily, it did fine right here, so we're fine with this. We can just visualize. And once again, Datawrapper just creates the chart for you. So right here, we have a heat map. Like, voila, there's like a heat map's already made. You can do more things, obviously make it interactive, hoverable, but like that's just, a basic heat map. You see right here, I hover over it, I can see the thin tool for each country whatsoever. So let's say I'm gonna choose, let's go with this one. You can change the color scale. I'm gonna go with a light orange to purple grayscale. I can do a couple of things. I can do it let's do continuous for right now. All right. I can, we're gonna do linear and I can change the range. So the democracy index goes from 0 to 10. So we're gonna go with 0 to 10. And there's 0 to 10, like that. You can show the color legend right here. You can show the caption, democracy index right here. You can change the labels. I like my labels, so they're fine. I can make map zoomable. This means that if someone wants to zoom in on the map, they can press plus and it'll like zoom in on a certain area like that. You notice here anything without data is in gray and has no hover, which is fine because, represents that they hadn't, no one has data on Greenland. It's not a country, but that makes the map zoomable. You can from the bottom right. You can also hide regions without data. It doesn't make sense here because like, because you want to see all the countries, but you could do that as well. You can do a lot of other features like map padding, map height. I don't know if you're interested. Same annotation here. You can add a title. Do this. EIU democracy index 22. And let's say I want to show labels. This is, again, one of my favorite features. You can just any heat map, even if it's just like of the US or of California. So right here, I already have like a bunch of select countries like the UK, Iran, India, Ethiopia, Mexico. I can choose whatever place I want. So let's say I just want to highlight the US and Russia. Go with 2. All right, so I'm going to type in, United States. It's going to load and add the United States. All right, and then I'm going to add Russia. Add Russia, and then I want to remove the United Kingdom, remove Mexico. So right there, we have United States and Russia, right there on your maps. You can add labels to your maps, right? That you can add more places. You can also add text annotations. So let's say I want to add like this, add text annotation. So I click here, and I just type, and move it here. I'll just move it there afterwards. Hold on, and move it here. Just drag it and move it here, like that. I'll just type like the United States. Just do Control B for bold. Add a democracy score of, I think it was 7.85, right? What was the score? 7.85. Like there, I can add text annotations. Hold on. There's like a certain boundary line, so you can't pass the boundary line. I'm just gonna add it right here. All right. All right, there. And I can obviously make it bold, underline, italicized. You can choose whether it shows on mobile or not, or on desktop or not. You can also draw a line. Like if I want to draw a line to right here and then move this right here, make it kind of aesthetic. I could do that if I wanted to. You don't have to draw a line, you can. Yeah, let's say I want to draw a line. So right there. You can also customize tooltips, which is really important. Let's say I want to change democracy index, the title of that, right? And I go to add your data right here. Let's say I want to change the name of this column to EIU democracy index. If I was to change this column, it would change the tooltips, the hover mode, and it wouldn't work. So let's say I change this. My computer's not loading right now, so it's not going to change. But if I was to click there and change it, what I have to do is I'm just going to show you right now. So I don't want my computer crash. I go to annotate. Tooltips just means hover mode, and you'd have to go here. You'd have to delete this and the new thing. So like if I wanted to just add year, right? You see, it would just show like, the year, for example. So tooltips just basically, it's like what hover mode you want. If I didn't want code, if I wanted the country name, I just remove code and add entity. And just like that, I have Brazil 6.78, Paraguay, Egypt 2.93, and it's all hoverable. It will easily show in like in any article or website that you do it in. And then, you got to publish it in embed, and you can publish it. And then just like that, you just made another heat map chart. Now I'm going to show something else with this chart, what you can also do. So let's say I want to go back to visualize, but let's say I didn't want a heat map like this. It's a cool chlorophyll heat map, but let's say I want it by steps, like break them into 5 different steps. About democracy, for democracy, I can just go to steps. All right, you see this? It'll set values for you. I was doing this yesterday, so I set values like less than 2, 2 to 4, 4 to 6, 6 to 8, greater than equal to 8. You can also you can press this little wrench right here. You can make a color scale. Click this, and if you just if you just follow this instruction, you can drag it up to remove. You can click to add one. So let's say I want to add this right here. You can move. You can move it to the side. You can add your own color scale if I wanted to. I'm not going to go into it too, but just so that I can make a scale right here. And then this is steps 5, so it has 5 different values. So it can be like full democracy, etc. You can add labels and all that stuff, but just wanted to show that that's also an option. You don't have to have it continuous. It could also be discrete. Yeah, does anyone have any questions on that? Heat maps? No? All right, we're going to go into symbol maps then. 2 more things, symbol maps and locator maps. So I have symbol maps are going to show location data when you have coordinates. Symbol data requires coordinates. So I'm going to send you another data set in the chat. This one should be fairly quick. This one is a data set of all the location coordinates of Nexus navigators in the past. So we have like San Diego, San Ramon, San Francisco, etc. And then I have the counts right here. The way I got the counts was from using like a data was using Python pandas, because I just calculated the counts, which I'll go over later, not today, but like it's not that hard to do. But once you have all the counts, I have all the cities, that they're from. So we have this data. We're gonna go to did I send this? Yeah. Right, we have this data. So once I have this data, I'm just gonna same thing right here. Back here, create a new map. We're gonna make a simple map. All right. So let's say I want to map a map of all the locations in the Bay Area. I'm gonna go to Bay Area. I'm just gonna create, and I'm gonna go to zip codes. That's the only one they have. It doesn't matter what it is since I'm just plotting points. So it's a full map of all the Bay Area zip codes. And we're gonna add data. So once again, same procedure. Connect to Google Sheet. Enter the Google Sheet. Load. Connect. All right. And I'm gonna visualize. Right here, you see data points. It's a symbol map. So we're gonna make it hover button, make it like pretty and stuff like that. But you see little points based on all the locations, and we see it's darker based on the frequency. So I can do size by counts, and that makes it bigger based on a count. You can also change the shape. Like if you don't want circles, you can make it squares. No, it's squares. You can change the max symbol size. If I want my things to be big, well, I don't want it that big. Let's say how big it is. I like circles, so I'm just going to stick with circles. You can reduce size on smaller screens, making it responsive, so you test it out. You can also change symbols based on colors. I like blue. I mean, I can make it like, change counts and make it a different color based on count, take a little color scale. So I can do that too. I'm not going to do it for this one since it has a built-in color scale that I like. But you could do something like that. You can also do a size legend, so it shows like, what size corresponds to what, value. I don't need it here since it's kind of self-explanatory. But yeah, you can make it zoomable. So someone can zoom in on every city, see what it is. If I go to annotate, you can title all of that stuff. You can also have map labels again, same like a heat map. I can add, some cities, San Francisco, Berkeley, Oakland. I could add any city I wanted. I could, I know what the city is. It's like Chad's or something like that. So I can just go search the city and then it'll show up right there in the location the city is. I can add title. So it's like Bay Area, Texas. Editors, you can add the data source, link to data source, byline, description. You can also add text annotations in the same way. So I can be like, eight are from San Jose. Like that. No, get prettier. It's bolded. You can bold it, control B, bold it. You can also add hover modes. So I want to make it hover. You go to tooltips, special tooltips. You customize it. So let's say I want to add counts. Now, right there, click on hover over it and it shows counts. Title, this is say on its city. Click city. Whoa, I can see now San Ramon is 2, Manteca is 1. So right here, I just added hover. And then layout to don't need to touch. Say one image or embed link. And you go publish it, and then you get another chart. It's all published. You can access from the archive right there. And same thing, you take the iframe, you embed it, or you can just take a screenshot or just download the picture like that. But yeah, any questions on symbol maps? Nope. Perfect. I'm going to go into the last type of chart, which is locator maps. This is the one I haven't explored as much, but it is one of my favorites because it just has really cool features. And you can have data, but you don't need data for this one. So we're going to do this one without data. So let's say we want to create a locator map. A locator map is used to show a specific location. So we're going to go here, we're going to create a new map. We create a locator map. Okay, so right here, I can zoom in to any place I want. Let's say I want to zoom into Santa Barbara, to UCSB, which is somewhere. This zoomed in right here. Vista. So can someone give me a building that they want me to map in Isla Vista? Or UCSB, like any building, like Stork Tower, Campbell Hall, something like that. Just like type in the chatter, say it. All right, let's see. Hummus Republic. All right, so if it was a building, I could just type Stork Tower. Since it's like a place, I'm gonna go find the address. What is this? 6456. Go back to my map. Which one is it? This one. This one. Yeah, I'm gonna go back to my map. I like Hummus Republic. But yeah, I'm gonna add a right here. 6546 Carlisle Road. They're all the same. Right here, I've just mapped Hummus Republic right there. So I'm gonna change this text to be Hummus Republic. All right. I'm gonna go no symbol. Actually, I'll just go symbol for now, and I'll remove it later if I wanted to. All right. You can change the symbol style. So let's say I wanted this to be a number. There's a way to number it. If I remember how to number, I learned this today morning. There's a way to number it if you were to play around with it. You can also change the symbol type. You can change the style, so you can be like a box or not. We're just going to do just text for now. And then, yeah. So now here's what I'm going to do. Right on your map, right click on your mouse or your trackpad and move your mouse up like that. Now scroll in using the scroll and just scroll in there, and then you can right there you have hummus right there. So you have this type of view. All right. So let's say I go to like design map. I'm gonna change this to be Earth because it's prettier. Let's say I want all the buildings to show up. We're gonna go 3D maps. And right here, this is Hamas Republic right here on Pardal Road. You can see everything just like that. So you can add stuff like water, glaciers. There are no glaciers in Isla Vista, so it doesn't really apply. You can add a scale bar. Highlighting a region is for larger maps. Like if I was doing a map from like, Berkeley to Santa Barbara, then I'd do like a highlight region of like Isla Vista if I wanted to. I don't need to highlight a region for such a small place. But right here I have like Hamas Republic, for example. Can someone give me another place that's close by to Hamas Republic? Specifically close by, because I want to show a little point with this. But yeah, you could also not be close by, but you know, either type in the chat or blenders. All right, let me pull up blenders right here. In fact, yeah, back to my map. Add it right here, the address for blenders. And I make this, blenders. And then, yeah, I'll keep the text for now, the point. You can draw a line between the mark and the text. So I can, if I wanted to, you can do like little line blenders here. If you want, a lot of cool things you can do with this. So now you have two different locations on here. I'm gonna remove the symbols just because. So right here, this could be your map. You just draft like blenders and how much roughly. That could be a map. But we can do more cool things with it. You can, besides the dots, what you can add is points. So pause if I go a bit over time, but I'm going to show you how to do points with this one. So it's not a key markers, not a key. So to add points, yeah, let's design that. Hold on. I'm going to go to, wait a minute. Yeah, add markers, back to add markers, and then we're going to import line area markers. All right. So right here, we're going to go to geojson.io. That link right here. Geojson.io. And go back here. All right. And I'm gonna search for the location I had. I'll take it right there. Here's Hamas Republic, here's Blenders. Let's say I want to draw the road from Hamas Republic to Blenders. What I'm gonna do, and follow the instructions carefully, otherwise I had a lot of otherwise you're gonna do it somewhat incorrectly. Click this thing right here, draw a line string. Just click it. Now go here and click a point. Don't drag, just click a point. So I'm gonna drag right here. I'm gonna click right here. It makes a line. So let's make a line like this. All right, here's a line. And now you have this, right? Instead of clicking somewhere else, click the line. So I just made a line between blenders and Hamas Republic walkway. So I'm going to take this. I'm going to copy this GeoJSON code. If you knew GeoJSON code, you could always, go write it yourself. I'm going to go to insert. I'm going to go right here to dropper paste GeoJSON. I'm just going to Control V. See the line is now added here? This line is now here. So now I can go to this and I can edit this. I can make this red. I can make this long. I can make this, wide. You can change the type of line. It could be like a little dotted line right there. And you can, now the fun thing with this is like once you get so many different more points, you can make a map of Isla Vista, or like specific things or like bike paths or roads using this feature. You just keep doing the same step over and over again. Add a point, add something else. You can also add numbers, which I am blanking on how to do it. But if you Google up how to add numbers to Datawrapper, you probably easy to do it. And once you're done with it, publish it, and then that could be your map. Or you could add more points to it and make a larger map. Datawrapper's locator maps are really cool because there are so many things you can do with them. Like I'll just show you a couple, bit of information of like what you can do with Datawrapper locator maps. If you're spending more time on them than my 5 minutes going over them. But if I went to Datawrapper, like the locator maps, there's like images. Like for imagine if this was like Stork Tower and this was like Campbell Hall or whatnot. You could do it with this map. You can also do like longer like roads from Berkeley to LA. What's like, if you're making an article like the best road take, you could do like a road from one place to another. Add numbers. You go even more detail with buildings like this. So Datawrapper is a lot of the locator map is probably one of my favorite features, even though I just learned it, like yesterday. But it is pretty cool. But yeah, if anyone, that basically concludes the Datawrapper workshop. I'm gonna send the slides in the chat. Just note that I didn't delete the template, like the SlidesGo template. But I'll share the slides in the chat so you all have access to them once this loads. View. It has some more information on it. I put links to 2 resources here. You can also Google them up and access the resources. But this is, let's see, Datawrapper API integration. So if you're interested in live scraping and live updating code, you can follow this instructions here and you can create any map using Datawrapper's API and you can, live scrape and make code with that. And after that, this is the documentation that'll, answer any questions about Datawrapper that you have. But with that, yeah, thank you so much for attending. Applications are due tonight. I'll be on here as long as you need me to. But yeah, thank you so much for attending.
Thank you.
Okay, I got one question. I'm just gonna show how to answer that. Change the size of like heat map text. Let's see, my heat map like this US text. I just go to map. Wait, would I annotate text map labels? So some limitations here because this is a. I don't know if you can change this text right here. If I was to add it as a text label like this I can easily change. Just go here and can I change this 14 to 12 like that. But to check in circle in line to like if I want to change the United States label right there. Let's see if I can do it. Style. I can do this. So you can change the style, but it has to be one of their styles. So I could change it from this to like a point like that. I could change it to like a capital or like a region like that font. So I guess that's how you would change the size. But because it's a built-in label and not a label that I'm manually